On Blues Radio International, we continue the viral antiviral world tour with a stop in Los Angeles to visit our friend Alastair Greene. How are you doing, Alastair?
Good. How are you guys today?
Hey,
Awesome.
we're with you. What could be better than that? What's the situation like for you with the pandemic as it affects your life in LA?
Well, honestly, when I'm home and I'm not out, touring and playing gigs and stuff, I haven't really changed a lot of my routine. I get up, I get on the computer, I have guitars, I work on music. Because I'm staying at home and not able to go out and work, I've been doing some Skype guitar lessons, and I've been doing some sessions for people where they'll email me some tracks. I'm doing a little more of that kind of thing. But, we're all trying to kind of figure this out as we go along. Thankfully, I am in the Los Angeles area. I'm north of Los Angeles in a town called Oxnard, which, kind of gives me a little bit of a buffer from the big city, which is nice. But, my wife's working from home, so that's cool. The cats are both here. I think they're getting sick of us both from being home for the last couple of weeks. But, yeah, she's able to do her job from home, which is nice. And, but, yeah, just, playing a lot of guitar and listening to vinyl and making things cleaner than they were a couple of weeks ago. So I got my office in order, which is nice. So that's cool.
That's really cool. What would you like to start out with us today playing?
I'll play a song that I recorded on a record called Trouble at Your Door originally. That was on Eclecto Groove. That was one of the Randy Cherkoff era records that I did. And this is called Red Wine Woman. I wrote it for my wife. There's also an electric version of this on my live record, but this is how I recorded it. I recorded it on this guitar, and it's just kind of, I kind of modeled it after, sort of like that walk and blues kind of song format. And so that's what I'll start with, I guess.
Awesome.
All right, here we go. Red wine woman, wanna drink with you, do anything that you want me to. Red wine woman, mama gonna drink with you. Do anything, baby, that you want me to. Red wine woman, won't you pour me some? Worked all day and now my work is done. Red wine woman, won't you pour me some? Worked all day, baby, my work is done. Red wine woman, won't you drink with me, and I will show you things that you wanna see. Red wine woman, mama, won't you drink with me? Show you things, mama, that you wanna see. That's right. Red wine woman, you worked hard all day. Little wine, drive that blues away. Red wine woman, you worked hard all day. Little wine mama, drive that blues away. Red wine woman, can I pour you a glass? And I will pour real slow, and I will make it last. Red wine woman, I pour you a glass. Pour real slow, baby, and make it last. Ta-da!
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Really
magic.
great.
The magic of the interweb. So, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on the show, man. Everyone, are you guys doing well? You guys hanging in there? It looks like you're staying busy.
Yeah, we definitely, we're both feeling well. I know I'm feeling great, and Jesse and I have just been keeping it going. You know, we can't meet in person, but we can do it like this, and that's fine with us for now.
Right on.
You know, can't complain other than, you know, maybe a slight bit of cabin fever. Other than that, it's all right.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah, and I mean, just 2 months ago, I watched you perform that song in Memphis. We were all there together, you know, just a little while ago. And you know, as somebody who's on the road a lot, that must be strange for you to be home for so long.
Yeah, well, you know, it's interesting. I mean, I've gone through different phases over the last decade where I've been gone a lot and then home for a while and playing a lot locally and stuff. So it's, you know, I'm kind of cool as long as I've got, you know, some music to play and, you know, some kind of objectives that I want to pull off, then, you know, I'm okay. I'm okay being home. I mean, I miss playing, you know, with my band or playing with other bands and interacting with people, of course. And we're only, you know, a few weeks into this, but, you know, if there's, like I said, if I can be playing and keeping busy, then, you know, I consider myself one of the lucky ones because I have a hobby that turned into a profession. I still love to sit around and play. It doesn't necessarily have to be for a bunch of people. It can just be for personal enjoyment. I still dig doing that. So. Yeah,
that personal enrichment is really great. I really appreciate you guys who can play guitar so well. I've tried, and the two-handed doesn't work for me. Yeah. So I appreciate it so much that, you know, when you have that skill, it's amazing. Have you been writing any since you've been home? Anything new?
A little bit. I've been kind of toying around with some ideas. To be honest, I've been kept pretty busy. You know, I've been kind of getting my home studio set up. Like I said, I cleaned my office. That was like stage one because, you know, when I toured with Sugar Ray Rayford for about a year, and, you know, so I was gone for a long time. And so the office just, you know, you think it looks messy now. It was nuts. But no, so, you know, that took a few days, and then I have a home recording studio situation. It's nothing fancy, but I'm able to create music here, you know, record things, and people can send me tracks, and I can play on albums from my home. So I've been doing that, and then I've been doing a couple live things on Facebook. I've been doing I'm starting to do a Thursday thing. It's called Throwdown Thursday, and for the time being, it's 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And, you know, I recorded a show for Can't Stop the Blues. And so I kind of feel like, you know, I'm still busy and occupied. I'm just doing it in a, you know, 8-foot square area in one place. So.
And what else have you been doing besides cleaning your office and setting up your studio?
You know, been kind of revisiting my record collection, which has been really cool because I am a big fan of vinyl. That's how I grew up listening to music as a kid. And I've got all kinds of records. I've got blues records, rock records, you know, jazz records. I found a Burl Ives record the other day from when I was a kid. So that's been, you know, I don't get a chance to listen to music closely all that much, or, you know, as much as I'd like. And so that's been a really cool thing, kind of rediscovering some records. And I've got, you know, I would impulse buy records, you know, on tour sometimes. So I've got stuff I haven't even listened to. You know, my collection. It's not an insane vinyl collection, but I probably have a few hundred records, and so it's nice to really kind of go back and listen to music the way I remember listening to it as a kid, dropping the needle and doing that. I mean, I'm all for CDs and I'm all for streaming, and that's all good, and I realize that's part of the world that we live in, so to speak, right now. But reconnecting with vinyl is like kind of reconnecting with a part of what got me excited about music in the first place. So
yeah. Something you can touch and feel is always nice. You feel it in your heart and feel it in your ears. Yeah,
totally.
So what else would you like to play for us, Alastair?
Well, I was telling Jesse, I've got a couple other guitars. So this was my National Steel guitar. I've had this for quite a while. I've got this. I don't bring this out that often. This is a Gibson 335. And I've had this for a while. This is probably my best guitar as far as just the quality and the craftsmanship. And I have a song I was thinking about playing I did a record recently with Tab Benoit for his Whiskey Bayou Records label, and I'd written a handful of songs to go into the studio with and record. He played drums and produced, and his bass player Corey played bass, and we had a great time. And some of the songs have kind of taken on a little bit of a new meaning with the recent things that are going on in the world, and that's always kind of an interesting thing when a song, the meaning of it maybe was one thing when you wrote it, and things change in the world and the meaning changes as the world changes. And the song is called Living Today, and I think it's probably going to open the album. And the lyric to it is pretty basic, but it's basically saying, it's not easy living in the world today, but we have to let our love shine through. So that's kind of the message of the song. So I haven't played it that much. So this is, I've only played it a handful of times, so I'm still getting used to playing it and singing it. So here we'll try it. We'll see what happens. All right, here we go. Well, I know you can feel it, but I can feel it too. Well, I know you can feel it, ain't nothing wrong with you. The whole world's gone crazy, the whole world's gone mad. Everybody feels uneasy, everyone feeling sad. Remember to let your love shine through. Remember to let your love shine through. Well, I know you can see it. Well, I can see it too. Well, I know you can see it, people. Everyone's got the blues. The whole world's gone crazy. The whole world's gone mad. Everybody feels uneasy. Everyone feeling sad. Remember to let your love shine through. Remember to let your love shine through. It ain't easy living today, but our love will find a way. Don't look back at the end of the day. Yeah, our love will find a way. Yeah, yeah. Remember to let your love shine through. Remember to let your love shine through. It ain't easy living today, but our love will find a way. Don't look back at the end of the day. Yeah, our love will find a way. Yeah, yeah. Find a way. Find a way. Living the day. Very nice.
Hey, that's really great, Alastair.
Who knew that the lyrics would take on new meaning? I didn't know. But that's kind of an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing that happened. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting that record out when the time comes. Obviously, there's other priorities right now in everybody's lives and whatnot. But I think it's important for musicians to keep creating and putting out product and getting out here and doing this. So I appreciate you guys having me on so I can play some of these songs and let people hear them, and hopefully they resonate and give people a sense of hope. I think that's really important right now is keep people happy and keep them hopeful. So.
And you get to blow off some steam, which is nice.
Yeah, why not?
Is it strange just playing for like a screen? As a musician, you feed off of the energy of the crowd. So, I imagine it must be a little strange.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit weird in some regards, but I mean, like I was, I give Skype lessons, so I'm used to, having some interaction on a computer screen. I've also, done some filming of, demos for music products. I'm working with an Italian company called Red 7 Amplifiers, and so I recently did a product demo for them. I just did a, product demo for Seymour Duncan that makes, guitar pickups and whatnot. And I did a whole thing in my room, just kind of figuring out how to edit. I mean, I'm actually learning a lot of things right now, as I'm sure a lot of people are. I've got, the computer, my phone, and filming different things, so, I mean, to answer your question, it's a little bit strange, but it's not completely off the reservation as far as my experience. I'm sure, for some musicians that aren't into tech and aren't into getting on, doing stuff on their computers and stuff, it's like, whoa, I'm playing a gig to a screen. It is a unique situation that we're in, definitely, So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and we got to do what we got to do, so.
We're talking to some people, and they, they said that this was a lesson in forced technology because they had resisted it for so long, and now it's a necessary thing. I mean, if we want to look at each other and communicate, we need to be able to do this stuff at least a little bit.
That's absolutely.
I think it's really special. We can.
Oh. Well, yeah. I mean, in that regard, I consider myself lucky. I mean, I'm not super techie, but I've done enough to know how to, do some of these things. I guess the only thing now that I wish, that I'd had the foresight to do would maybe get a better camera for my computer, because I know, some of the images on different people's computers aren't as clear. And, I'm right now I'm coming to you from a MacBook Pro that still has a CD player in it. So that tells you how old my MacBook is. So a CD drive in my MacBook that I'm working with right now. So,
hey, it works and you look right. So hey, dig it.
Welcome to my office.
It's awesome. I see you got your friend hanging on the wall back there.
Yeah, I got the poster that's back there. I'm not going to try and rearrange the screen right now, but the poster that's in back of me is a poster from the first time I ever went to Europe to play a blues festival, and I went with Frank Goldwasser and Mitch Kashmar, and we did a set at this festival in Belgium. The headliner on there is actually Lucky Peterson, and maybe I'll send you a picture in the email. But so Lucky Peterson was the headliner of this blues festival from 2004. If you can believe that. So
back in the day,
it was him. It was Jimmy Johnson was on the bill, and I was on the bill with Mitch Kashmar, Daryl Nullish on there featuring Johnny Moeller, Amos Garrett. Anyhow, so that's I try and keep a little bit of memorabilia around from the various things that I've been involved in and been very blessed to be able to do. So
absolutely, little treasures from along the way is always important.
Absolutely.
So what else would you like to play for us? I see you got your...
I've got this. I've also
friend
got
on the couch.
Well, I've got the Les Paul back there. I was actually thinking of doing another acoustic thing on this fiddle. This isn't necessarily I mean, it's a cool guitar. I've had it for a long time. It's a Sigma, and Sigma is a kind of a part of the Martin guitar family. Like Sigma is to Martin what Squire is to Fender, Epiphone is to Gibson. It's made overseas, but this is a cool guitar. I've been playing this a long time. this and the National. I actually used to do a lot of acoustic shows with Mitch Kashmar when he lived in Southern California. And so there was a time when I actually kind of had my acoustic game together, which has suffered in the ensuing years, but trying to getting back into playing acoustic. And I played a lot of gigs with this. Played a lot of gigs with this guitar and the National acoustic. And I think it's important. Also, I was talking about reconnecting with vinyl, but also reconnecting with the roots of blues. I mean, it was an acoustic music, and originally, and I mean, I don't have a huge acoustic blues collection as far as what I have on vinyl. I busted out some Book of White the other day. I've got that. I may have a Robert Johnson record. Most of my acoustic blues I have is on CD, and I would pan the camera around the room. You'd see how and still messy it is, but my CD collection is obscene, much to my wife's chagrin.
Can't let go. Can't let go.
I mean, man, it's just like I got them. I'm gonna keep them, and at some point, if at some point I need to donate them, I will. But
as long as they don't crawl out of your little space there.
Yeah, right. But that's been another kind of cool thing is reconnecting with the acoustic instruments and playing some blues and stuff and just messing around with these guitars. I've got this in an open D tuning, which is kind of the I guess you could say sort of the Elmore James tuning, and this is a song of mine that was on a record from 2009 called Walking in Circles. This is the title track. Actually, and speaking of Mitch Kashmar, he played harmonica on this song and actually contributed a lot to that record. So I'm going to do that Walking in Circles for you right now.
All right.
And I also thieved Elmore James for this song too. So here we go. Walking in circles ever since the sun went down. Yes, I was walking in circles ever since the sun went down. I've been worried about my baby. Yeah, she can't be found out. Well, I was walking in circles trying to find a straight line. Yes, I was walking in circles trying to find a straight line. The line that leads me to my baby, I got loving on my mind. I was walking in circles till she called me on the phone. Yes, I was walking in circles until she called me on the phone. Yeah, I heard my baby's voice. She said she's coming home. Come on home, mama.
Hey, that's great. Hey, Alastair, walking in circles, it started out as a metaphor, and then it became a state of mind, and now it's become our exercise routine. So it's very appropriate, right?
These songs take on new meanings. I love it. The songs take on new meanings.
Yeah, that's for all of us.
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for joining us today. We're connecting with our friends all over the world, and your music has given so much to everyone already. We're really pleased that you joined us and that we can share some of this very positive feeling and very uplifting music with people everywhere. And we just, with your help, put a little light into some very dark corners. Thank you very much for helping us do that.
Hey, thanks, man. Anytime, you guys. You guys be safe, and thanks for having me on. I really appreciate you guys, too.
Okay. Thanks, Alastair. Take care.
Okay. All right, you guys. You too.
Bye.
Bye.